What's going on, everyone? So we have something kind of like interesting and weird to talk about today. There's this, I don't know about you guys, but my X feed all weekend was just, is Benny Johnson gay or is he not gay? That was like the whole thing. It was people, some people on the right were like, oh, I seen him do this, do this. And the other people on the right were fully defending him. He's like, he's a family man, blah, blah, blah. So why don't we talk about where this stemmed from? All right. So this stemmed from a Timcast IRL stream on Friday where Milo Yiannopoulos, for those of you not familiar with him, he's like a conservative commentator. He's been kind of canceled and doesn't really do much like collabs with a lot of other conservative commentators. I don't really know much about him. Apparently, he says like a lot of wild stuff. He likes to get into drama and everything. But this is basically how it started. This is what he said on Timcast. Whoops.
One of the most distinctive things about the right wing in this country is its homosexual overtones. Benny Johnson posts pictures of his children every 2 days. It's weird. And everybody knows what went on with Benny Johnson in those lobbies and in those hotel rooms at SAS. Everybody knows.
I don't. No. I don't know what you're talking about.
Men, younger men, not underage. At least I don't know that. His wife was crying drunk in the lobby 3 SASs in a row about how her husband was upstairs with boys.
Come on.
Go ask her.
Come on.
Go ask her.
Come on, Milo.
Go ask her.
Milo, aren't you ever scared of getting sued? You say some crazy...
I'm
sitting here like I am humbled by the lore and your ability
the audacity
to there's no teapots in this room right now to express how I feel.
George, I have said these things about people for 20 years and never once in my career been sued. I've issued 3 corrections in my entire journalistic career because I get my facts right and people know that they do not want to go through discovery.
Actually, I want to say this.
I've never been...
So that's Milo Yiannopoulos claiming Benny's gay. So let's start from the beginning. He says it's weird how often Benny posts pictures of his family. I will say, I do think that's a little weird, not because it's bad to post pictures of your family or anything, but when you're a big political figure and public figure like Benny Johnson is, millions of followers, and seeing the political climate we are in today's world, I don't know why you would post your children's faces on the internet. Like a lot of other conservatives like Tim Pool, Matt Walsh, Ben Shapiro, for the most part, they don't post their children at all on social media for the world to see because the world is a dangerous place, especially when you're a big public political commentator. They all need their own security just to go around and do basic things. So from that point of view, I don't understand why Benny would ever post pictures of his kids online. He actually just did Sunday night after all of this, which I think is very strange. After that, he said that 3 SASs in a row, which I think is like a conservative event. I don't know what the acronym stands for. But apparently 3 SASs in a row, Benny Johnson's wife was like down in the lobby crying drunk while Benny Johnson apparently is up in a room with a young boy. Not underage, he did clarify that, but with a young boy. You would think with this big of an accusation, for one, I don't know why his wife would stay with him this whole time if he kept doing this, or if she just wanted it to happen, why she would show up at the event and just get drunk and cry. Like, if you're fine with him doing that, why would you put yourself in a position where you're seeing it happening? The whole thing from that perspective is weird. Plus, you would think if he keeps doing this over and over again at these events, someone would have like a picture or video of him walking off, something, right? That proves at least that could hint at this being real. If Milo's so set on this being real, where's the proof? Like, he clearly isn't afraid of being sued. He said so in the video. He's like, oh, I've never been sued, blah, blah, blah. You know, freedom of speech, it's hard to get sued for stuff like that necessarily. But, like, where's the proof? If you're dead set on saying this is true, you need to provide something. You can't just make accusations like that. So this whole thing's kind of weird. But Benny is a little bit of a flamboyant guy, so I'm not going to say, oh, it's impossible for him to be gay. You know, weird things have happened in the conservative sphere or people in general. Like, even though he has kids and a wife, anything could change. I mean, look at Mr. Beast's friend who had a wife and kid, and he just turned trans. You know, it's definitely a weird world we live in. But there's also more to this. So, so Benny ended up making a post basically saying he's going to do a lawsuit. So he says, I am duty bound to take action to protect my family against those who maliciously defame me and attack us. More to come soon. So my view on him doing this lawsuit is that I think it makes it worse, honestly. Because if you're talking about you're basically trying to prove to the world that you're not gay, but it's like why would you go so hard to try to like prove it? Like going out of your way like this to be like, I'm going to sue you to prove I'm not gay. Like what? Like your better response would be just to ignore what Milo's saying in general. Like if you just ignore this and act like Milo's just spewing out his ass, which I think a lot of people do, because Milo seems like the kind of person that just likes drama and seems like he makes up a lot of stuff because he says all these claims that he doesn't really back, but I guess his argument is he's right because no one pushes him on it. But I think, like I said, this makes it worse. Just ignore the dude. He's like you're feeding into him doing this. So Milo's response, really long. I'll try to do like little notes, but basically he says here, I have receipts and the truth is a total defense against any claim of defamation. Do you want to lose a defamation case to Milo Yiannopoulos of all people about whether or not you are gay? Do you even want to fight one? The people who have poured money into making you a big deal are about to lose their entire investment. Now, I don't know who he's implying there. Maybe Turning Point, because he does work with Turning Point, but I know his actual show, the main show, I'm pretty sure it's independent. But maybe he has investors to that, or maybe it's like the ad deals. I'm not sure what entirely he means by that. He says, I know more about your marriage than you think I do, and I have evidence, I have witnesses. I know who to subpoena. I know what questions to ask about nocturnal liaisons, dangerouses with chaps in assless chaps, and about being caught at conferences attended by students, some of whom may be under 18. Even though in Timcast he said they were all over 18, so he's conflicting a little bit there. He starts attacking Benny's wife, which I think is wrong. He could leave his wife out of this. Like I think that's kind of like a low blow. Discovery will destroy your career beyond any possibility of redemption, Benny, which was never my intention and never in my heart because I believe that family is making you a better man, as I think it did Charlie Kirk. But this will be the inevitable result of your actions. I just want you to be honest because I believe that's important. I believe that it is in the public interest to report on people who present one way and act another. Basically, he says he believes that he should report on him because he thinks he's not being his true self. So there's a lot to really unpack here. And at the end of the day, like for Benny to do this, he would have to prove that like this affects his career, his YouTube channel. I don't think he's going to be able to do that because I don't think it really affects it that much. Like the whole him being accused of taking Russian money has probably affected it more than this, but I don't think he ever sued the DOJ. So I think like, I don't know. It just seems kind of stupid. Milo seems kind of childish. Like I don't know a lot about Milo. He does seem to like to be in drama, likes to stir stuff. He said on Tim Pool he doesn't really have many friends in the conservative sphere anymore. Like Tim Pool's one of the few. So yeah, this is, I don't know. This seems kind of stupid. I think it's stupid for Benny to feed into it. I think Milo's just acting like a child. Whether Benny is gay or not, I don't personally care. I think it's kind of messed up if he is gay and been gay this whole time. If he's been like cheating on his wife with these kids at the conservative conferences. And I don't understand the whole like conservatives being like secretly gay. Like there's this whole thing where people say that conservatives meet up in DC, like Mike Johnson and Jesse Waters from Fox News and stuff like that. And they have like gay meetings and stuff. So I don't know if any of that's true, but they're heavily rumored. And then here's also, Benny posted this after everything. I know this is going to trigger some people, but here's my family. We're happy. They're miserable. That's why we win. Again, why do you show your child's faces on the internet? I don't understand that. Like, that's stupid. Like you live in this dangerous world. You talk about how you've been attacked before, you've been stalked before. People probably know your address, and you're just gonna give them more information about your family. Like that will never make sense to me. Other conservative commentators hide their kids from the world, as they should, because the world's a crazy place. But here he is just showing his kids off to everyone. I don't get it. I don't know. I'll say this. I think Benny feeding into this is probably the worst thing he could have done. I think that's going to open this up more and blow it way more out of proportion than it should have been. I think personally, when I saw Milo name drop him on Friday, I was like, whatever, Milo's just making shit up, right? I didn't think anything of it. I was like, Milo's BSing, whatever. He's like, I saw this, I saw this. But then Benny fed into it, which gives it life, which makes it more real. That's stupid. I think he's hurting himself with this. And it's like, what if he does feel like he has something to hide? What if he thinks something's going to get out, or he's scared of Milo leaking it out? You know? I don't know. It just seems insane to me. Let me know if you think in the comments what you think about this. Maybe this whole thing is just irrelevant to life in general. But I thought it was just interesting to talk about, you know, conservative drama. A little more exciting than like, you know, boring news. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Subscribe, like the video. Sorry, subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to my other social medias. I'll catch you next time.